Welcome to week 9. So, we are in week 9, day 1. This week is about healing from trauma. So, first, before I get started, I want to say forgive me if I seem a little off. It's because I have a headache. And I woke up with this headache. I had a very intense dream, and every time I have these type of dreams, I don't care what they are, if they're intense, especially if it's like a vision or something to happen in the future or whatever, when God is giving me a message, I wake up with headaches. So that's exactly what that dream was. It was a message about my husband and the future of where we're going. But I won't go into details about that because that's between us. But that I am dealing with a headache, so please disregard my headache. I thought about not recording today, but I realized that time waits for no one, and it's not about me. I got my healing. I'm good, but I want to make sure you get your healing and that you're good. So I don't want to push this program back any further than what it's already been pushed back for. So I have not posted this program yet. I'm still in the process of making the program. That's why I'm recording. So if you notice, for those of you on the video, I mentioned this before, you might see me with the same attire on, but it's a different day for you, but it's the same day for me. And that's mainly because I'm trying to get as many recordings done as possible without having to wait for another day for this to happen. So let's just get right into it. Week 9, healing from trauma. The objective for this week is addressing and healing from the trauma experienced in the relationship. So you have experienced trauma in your narcissistic relationship. You might say to yourself, you're good, but take it from someone who's been in your shoes. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not 100% good. You do need some help. You need something that can help you cope with what you are experiencing. And if you haven't started experiencing any of these symptoms or any of these situations that I'm about to address, you might end up experiencing them at some point down the road. And the thing with this is that it happens at any time. You never know when it's going to happen, mainly if you haven't worked on yourself and got yourself in a good place. This is the reason why I'm giving you these techniques. This is the reason why I'm giving you all these activities to do. Because if you don't do the activities, you don't do the assignments, you're going to experience these things and it's going to happen to you. One of the things that you're going to experience is PTSD and CPTSD. Probably wondering, I never heard of CPTSD. Well, I'm going to explain to you what that is. And the thing is that you fall into the category of CPTSD. So, understanding, these are the topics we're going to talk about. Understanding, excuse me, understanding PTSD and CPTSD, traumatic approaches to trauma healing. How can you heal from these things? And releasing guilt and shame. We talked about this last week about guilt and shame. Well, you have to release it because this is how you begin to become stuck. And if you don't release the guilt and the shame, you will find yourself either going into a shell, hiding from people, and you will suffer traumatically with the PTSD and the CPTSD. Or you will find yourself repeating the same mistakes that you just got out of. You will end up going back into the relationship with the narcissist, or you will meet someone new with the same spirit of the narcissist, and then you just basically just wiped out all the hard work that you put into yourself. So here are your activities. I want to make sure you know what you are going to be doing for this week. So first, what you're going to do is trauma informed qigong. That is a meditation, but it's a body meditation. It's for your body. It's to help you get all the negative energy out of your body. Our body carry energy. If you ever notice when you walk on a carpet and then you touch someone, you shock them, they become like a little static electric shock. That's the energy that your body is carrying. So your body can carry good energy or it can carry bad energy. But this is what trauma informed Qigong is for, is to help you release all the negative energy that you have in your body. You have to do this every day. If you don't do it every day, it's okay, but at least try to do it 3 times a week. If you can get as much sessions in as possible, it is going to be amazing for you. Qigong, trauma Qigong don't take that long. It's anywhere from 2 minutes to 15 minutes. You don't need any longer than that. It all depends on how much you do. You do this for yourself, but I'm going to teach you how it's done. I have already done a video on it. Matter of fact, I've done it twice, 2 different videos. They're on YouTube right now as we speak, so you can actually go to YouTube and find those videos. And the videos, I guide you in the session, and you can find them there. Your other assignment would be to do guided imagery and visualization. So we have done guided imagery and visualization already, and I have done it in a video for you. But I also have done it on my podcast. So for those of you who don't want to just stare at a video and you want to just listen to the sound of my voice teaching you and guiding you through it, go on the podcast. The podcast is called Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. And you can get the podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. It's on Spotify, iRadio, it's on Buzzsprout, it's on anywhere that you may have been listening to your podcast, even Pandora. So remember, the name of it is, I just said the name. I told you I have a headache. I'm sorry. But Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. And of course, just put my name in, Alayla Carroll. Yes, put the apostrophe because that's how I spelled my name. That's what it is on my birth certificate. So definitely use the apostrophe. So that way you get the opportunity. Now you can go on the website. You're already on the website because you are doing this program online. It's a very easy way to get to the podcast. It's very simple because right at the top, when you are searching for what tab to do or what page to go to, it says podcast. Click on that. And then when you click on that, it says listen. And then you get a chance to stroll and find the guided imagery. That's exactly what it says, guided imagery. And also visualization. You can find those 2 and you can go ahead and get started. Now there are several ways that you can do it. I will go over how you can do this, so that way you can get an opportunity to pick what is best for you. The other assignment is for you to share in the group and also to support someone. Find someone in the group. So when you go into the discussion forum, when you go into that area on the website, where it says forum. So for those of you who are already in the online course, you're already in the group. You have already been automatically put in the group. So you don't have to worry about going to go put yourself in the group. You're already there. All you have to do is just click on it and then continue with what you've been doing. What you need to do for the assignment this time, for this week, is for you to first share your experience. What have you been doing in these past nine weeks? What's been going on with you in these past 9 weeks? What good have you accomplished? And also, have you dealt with any setbacks or challenges? Talk about those things. Now, after you have done that and you shared about yourself, now it's time for you to go and help somebody. Go into the discussion forum. If you find someone that you think that you can relate some type of encouragement to, encourage them, okay? Give them some encouragement, letting them know that they're not alone and that you two, or however many people you choose to encourage, that y'all are basically in the same boat, riding with each other together, and you're going to overcome what you are dealing with. All right. The other assignment, which would be for you to write a letter of forgiveness to yourself. Yes, you need to write a letter to yourself, forgiving yourself, expressing understanding and compassion for your past choices. This is how you are going to release the guilt and the shame that you are feeling and that you're dealing with. And no one would be able to come and shame you or make you feel guilty, especially the narcissist, because they have a way of trying to make you feel bad for leaving them. So what you need to do is write a letter. You are the only one who is going to see this letter. Do not share it with anyone. Keep it to yourself. This is for you. It's for your healing. So you don't need anybody's feedback on anything that you have to say to yourself, all right? So what you would do is write that letter. You will share in that letter compassion towards yourself, understanding towards yourself, forgive yourself. Tell yourself that you forgive yourself. Basically, you're going to say, I forgive me for the wrong choices I made. I forgive myself for staying in that relationship as long as I did. I forgive myself for doing X, Y, and Z, okay? And then after you have done that, you're done with the letter, proofread it, make sure it is written to where it's understood by you, and you don't have to stop when you do this next assignment. So proofread it, make sure it sounds great to you, make sure there's punctuation, spelling, whatever. It's up to you because you're the only one that's reading it anyway. So just make sure it's to your understanding. After you know you have done that, now what you're going to do, your next assignment will be for you to take that same letter. You will go somewhere in a quiet space, just you by yourself. Nobody is disturbing you. It's just you. And you're going to read that letter out loud to yourself. Make sure no one is around to hear you talk, all right? You don't want no one listening to you or peeking in or being nosy. So definitely make sure you by yourself. Read that letter to yourself. What I normally would do would go to a park, or if I'm walking, and I would read that letter while I'm walking, and I would say to myself, most of the time what I do, I pray. And I say, God, forgive me for my sins. After I pray, now I'm going to forgive myself for my sins, because of things that I've done. I must forgive myself for what I've done, because that's the worst kind of guilt, is holding yourself accountable in such a horrible way to where you feel like you can't let go. And that's not right, because you'll never be able to move forward with the life that God has in store for you. So the best thing to do is to just go ahead and forgive yourself. Read that letter out loud, okay? Out loud. Read it. And as you read it, once you have read it and it's done, say your piece with it. Let it go. Now, what I normally do after I have done something like this is what I do. You don't have to do this, but it works. And it works very well. I even do it when I pray. When I write out prayers, I definitely write prayers out, especially the ones that are so dear and so important to me. And then I read those out loud to God. And then this is what I do. Do the same thing with the letter if you choose to or not. Find somewhere that is safe. Please do not do this if the wind is going to blow. I normally would do it in the kitchen sink. This is how I do it. That way I can turn the water on if it gets out of control. What I do is I burn the letter, and I make sure it turns into ashes. The smoke goes up and God gets it. I'm done with it. I release it. So where most people do bonfires and they will throw it in the bonfire or whatever as they release it, I'm telling you, it works. It's something about those words going up in smoke. It's just something about that energy. It releases you from all the toxicity that's going on. It releases you from any demonic spirit that has a stronghold over you. It just does that. For some reason, it is so powerful. So I'm telling you to try it, and you will find yourself like, okay, I think I need to do this with other things now. I need to pray about other things now. And then before you know, your life is turned around. I done it for myself. This is why I'm able to say this to you. And I have a healthy marriage now. My husband and I I wish I would have met him years ago. And what I mean by that, when I was in my 20s. See, I met my husband back in 2012. And during the time that I met him, he was good then. I just didn't have that. You know how you feel like someone is not your type? I feel like he wasn't my type because I had a type. Now my type is honest, or gotta be good looking. I'm sorry, but yes, honest as well as trustworthy, and he has to make me laugh because that's what I need in my life is joy. So those things, and then of course responsible, and also so my husband, he's all those things, and I have to, like, tomorrow's his birthday, and I'm trying to figure out what to do for his birthday. He tells me all he want is to go out to eat and just be with me, and I'm like, he's so simple. I'm telling myself, like, he is so simple. And then when I buy him something, oh, you don't have to buy me anything. And I'm like, no, I want you to have this. And he does. He keeps my stuff. He holds on to it. In fact, I bought him this watch that he wears almost all the time. He have other watches, but he chooses to wear that particular one. And I know why. One reason, the watch is not that heavy and not that bulky. And then it's unique. It's different. But I just noticed that when it comes to him, I say to myself, God, you must did allowed me to go through all the stuff that I went through so I can be right for him, because he's already right for me and always have been. I just have to be right for him because I had so much fight in me back in those days in my 20s, and then in my 30s I was just I think I was so desperate to have a child that I didn't think of anything other than myself. And that's how I got in the narcissistic marriage in the first place with my ex-husband. But just to say this, I just know that we have to come to a place in our lives where we have grown and that we are better than what we were yesterday, and then that way we can be great for tomorrow. And that is going to be it for this particular video. I don't want to go deeper into this because I want to get into the lesson at hand, which is the PTSD. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the PTSD as well as for the CPTSD. And that will actually be the next video.